Welcome to Connect Show, where we connect students to careers. I'm Lane Walker, principal at the Huron Area Tech Center, and today we have a very special guest with us, Westin Bowles, to talk with all of you about his journey through culinary arts. And joining me in the discussion is Mr. John Miles, Westin's former culinary arts teacher. This is going to be great. John and Westin, thank you both for joining us. So let's get right to it. Westin, thank you for coming back. It seems like not too long ago you were here, but it's been a while. First, tell us what you're doing right now and what really interests you, and kind of what is your side of the restaurant ownership and management? What are you doing right now?
So together, my family and I, we work multiple restaurants throughout the Thumb. Most of my job is the people management within the kitchen and kitchens, multiple places. I work with all the staff between dishwashers, cooks, prep cooks, food runners, and even some of the servers and beyond, bartenders as well. I'm kind of in charge of, the food ordering, kind of just making sure all the ducks are in a row in the back. And fortunately enough, I teamed up with my family, my sister and my mom. I'm extremely fortunate for that. And they're kind of the front of the house. They make sure the ducks are in a row in the front. So it's good. With everything that we got going on, we just kind of balance it between each other, and it works out. It's super fun.
How would you say you started, like what was your history and how did you get from there into where you are today? Like where did you start in the industry?
So we first moved here when I was 8 years old. I'm from Arizona originally. We moved when I was in third grade, and my mom's parents have always owned two restaurants. There's been Lefty's Diner and Lefty's Drive-In. Both are 10 miles apart from each other, and a lot of family traditions between other people that, they come up for the summer. So we've got a big history with that. And so when we moved here, we were fortunate enough to have that to fall back on. But my aunt, who ran the restaurants, she unfortunately just out of nowhere passed away. Really unfortunate, but we were able to fall back on that restaurant, and my mom jumped in, and from there it's been a snowball effect of 4 restaurants, 5 restaurants, whatever it is now. But that's kind of where we started. So we've always been in the kitchen, always been at the restaurants. If we wanted to see our mom or whatever it was, she was there, so we were there. And that kind of correlated into working. We'd be 10 years old, 8 years old, running around washing dishes, whatever it was. We were bussing tables, washing dishes, talking to people. We were there. And that kind of instilled this, I want to be here kind of thing. I want to be in the restaurants. I want to do this. This is fun. I liked interacting with the people. And from that, I was able to, kind of see what I wanted. And that was where it was. So from there, that would have been, we owned Lefty's from, when we were there. It was 2011 to 2019 until we bought another restaurant. That was Murdoch's in Caro. And my uncle had owned Murdoch's. So that one's another one that's always been in the family. We were familiar with it. And we were able to take over that one. And from there, from 2019 to now, we still own Murdoch's, and it still runs 7 days a week, so we're there all the time. And then I was still in school. I was here at the Tech Center from 11th and 12th grade. I did culinary arts. I loved it. I couldn't thank these guys enough for what they did. And but in 2021, I had the idea either to go to college or we could buy a restaurant, and we could start it. And it would be me and my sister. I'm a triplet, actually. And a lot of you know that, but my third brother, Garrett, he went off to school. He's a mechanical engineer. He loves that. And me and Kyle, we stayed back and did the restaurant. And, 3 or 4 years later, here we are. We're successful. We've opened 2 more after that, and it just kind of keeps going. It's fun.
So Westin, you got me excited because you mentioned your time at the Tech Center. So think back. I know it's hard because it seems like it was just yesterday, but it was a while ago. Think back, what specifically helped you while you were here prepare for what you're doing now and gave you the confidence to be ready to do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of it comes down to the connections I built with people. all the teachers, I can come back in here and it was like I was here yesterday. That's what I love about the tech center. The connections I built between Mr. Miles, you, a couple previous teachers even, and I'm able to fall back on those people, and I can rely on them, mentorship, ideas, anything like that. I can shoot them your way, and stuff like this, I can come back and be a part of it with the community. I can come back and do interviews with kids. We do mock interviews. We've done job fair, and it's been huge for me because those connections helped me get a position in there, and we were able to hire a lot of students from the tech center, and that's super awesome to me. But overall too, just the idea of being in the kitchen, I was able to learn lots of technical skills, lots of ideas and flavors and stuff like that, and just working with other students, that helped a lot too. So I appreciate it a lot, more than you can imagine.
Nice. What would you say is part of your most enjoyable parts of the day?
I like getting up and doing it. It sounds cliche, but every day something's different. I'm not, going to work. I'm not going to school. I get up and, I've got phone calls to answer, text to answer, different problems that may arise. You can say problems, but, it's getting up and doing it. Interacting with people, whether it's a delivery driver, somebody working at the restaurant, anybody, customers, you name it. I enjoy every part of it, and there's not a day that goes by where it's like, I wish I was doing something else, because I love it. I love doing it. It's fun.
Nice.
So you mentioned a typical day. So I'm going to throw a scenario, and I know because I'm your neighbor in the summer. I own a business as well. But tell about what a typical day in the summer looks like, because I've seen you at 6:30 in the morning, and I've left at almost 1, and you've still been working. So Caseville is a booming resort town, right? We all know that. So tell us what, even being the owner, what a day looks like, the grind looks like in the summer in Caseville.
It's a lot. It is a lot, and it's kind of an up and down from summer to winter, and it's good. But yeah, in the summertime, it's nuts. I'm up there. Usually, I try to get up there by 8 o'clock. Some days, it's 6 o'clock. And those busier days where I've got a lot of things to, kind of fall in. But 8 o'clock, I try to get up there at 8 or 10, anywhere in that window, depending on if I've got to stop at Lefty's or, wherever. It could be anywhere, the grocery store, hardware store, whatever. So I try to get there about that time, and usually it begins with putting a truck away, whatever it is. We get deliveries pretty early in the morning, sometimes later in the day, whether it's beer, liquor, food. I'm the one putting it away, or at least inventorying it for somebody else to put away. So that kind of starts there, and then around that time when I'm done with that, it's usually starting it open. So I'm usually the first one in the door. I have helpers that come in. We're getting ready for lunch, really. I'm the one opening the kitchen, starting it up. If somebody isn't already there with me, I'm getting everything ready, making sure, everything's clean. Dining room's got to be clean. It's a big thing. And, Kyle helps with that a lot. And just making sure that her staff and everybody is trained to know what's going on. So from that point on, it's, problem solving. It's, figuring things out. Orders are coming in, and everybody's trained. All our staff is trained to do their job and do it well, and and that's where I fill in. If I'm on the line running food, doing whatever I got to do, just managing the people, managing customers, employees. It's a blast. It's it feels like 2 hours goes by and it's already 10 o'clock at night, and you're thinking, okay, all right, I can go home now. And on those busier days, sometimes the work doesn't stop. It's at the end of the day, I'm picking up trash. On those festival days, I've got to clean up some areas in the tent that got a little crazy, and then back home to do it again in the morning. So it's a blast, man. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's super fun.
Westin, if you could give some advice to students looking to get into the industry, what would you say to them?
It's easier said than done, but I would say jump into it. Whether it's you want to pursue it in school, you want to do it, you want to go to culinary school. For my case, culinary school wasn't an option I wanted to do, because I already had that that background. I knew that it would teach me a lot, and it has a lot of potential for a lot of students to teach them, you know, these ideas. But I was more focused on the management of the businesses, you know, and more than the food itself. You know, I knew the food would come and I would have these ideas that would sprout. But for people in any position, really, is to find somebody you can learn from. You know, find somebody you can follow, and you know, whether it's somebody that owns a restaurant, it's somebody that cooks at a restaurant, or an instructor at a school, whatever it is. That was my biggest thing. You know, I had a lot of people that taught me a lot of things. You, my mom, you know, anybody that was with me in the restaurant could teach me a few things, and from there I pick it up, and that's where I'm at today, and I'm able to learn, and you know, every day is a learning process. So whether it's you jump in it at school, you're up every day, you know, in culinary school, learning from an instructor, you're at work every day, you know, no process is the same. So you do you, and just do your thing, you know, get up and do it. Nice. So,
Westin, do you have a story or a memory that motivates you, or that you can think back and had an aha moment and went, yeah, this, all right, I got this is good?
I remember, you know, like during the summer, I don't really even get to see a lot of the things. You know, I'm always in the back. I'm what I like to tell people, I'm hiding. You know, I'm in the back hiding. You don't see me, but I'm there. But I remember 4th of July weekend, I was able to leave the kitchen, you know, go out and see. I don't remember if it was, I think I was running and doing something. You know, we have another restaurant right in our backyard. So I was running out the back door, and I remember just stopping where the yard opens up and just seeing these people. And I'm like, holy smokes, man, this is, we're doing something here. And I remember the music playing, and I mean, I don't know how many people were out there. There had been 400 people, and between the whole yard, and it was just amazing to see. And I was just like, you know, it almost made me tear up a little bit. I'm a little emotional about it now, because it was something that, like, you know, 20-year-old, 18-year-old me was like, holy smokes, how the heck am I going to get here? And and now it's happening, so it's super cool. And that was kind of a moment where it was like, you know, you don't really get to appreciate the things you do every day, because it's just like, sometimes it feels monotonous and it feels like you're doing the same thing all the time. But, you know, being able to go out and like appreciate these people having a good time, enjoying their food, enjoying the people, you know, enjoying the music, it was something that, you know, was like, this is sweet. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Knowing you, that's no accident that happened.
It was
hard work, planning, grit. So that's awesome.
It is. It was super cool. Super. Yeah. And just being able to appreciate it, and the hard work paid off.
So if a student was looking, if you're going to have sophomores watching this, juniors, seniors, maybe 8th graders, what if they're looking to get into culinary or any type of food hospitality, what would you tell them? What would be the easiest piece of advice?
Like I said earlier, jump into it. You know, and it's something you can take forever. You know, everybody's got to eat. I've always said that when I was here. Yeah. You got to eat. So whether you're learning yourself and you're cooking something for yourself or somebody you love, or if it's your job, kind of like myself, you know, it's my job every day to get up and cook food, or somewhat in that vicinity of, you know, the job. But I'd say jump into it. Whether it's an instructor, if it's, you know, you're going to work every day, and it doesn't matter where. It's hospitality's hospitality. You're taking care of people, you're cooking food, whatever it is. If you're hotel management, you can do whatever you want with hospitality. And at the end of the day, the things that make people happy, and what I always say is, people are always happy when you give them food or money. And at least I can do one of them, you know, so I can feed people, and they're always happy. Yeah. So, and for students coming up, whether you're, you know, watching this and you're in 8th grade, like you said, at one point I was there too, not too long ago. And, you know, I was kind of confused on where I was, and I was confused on what I wanted to do until I was a senior in high school, and in April, right, when we bought the restaurant. Because I had ideas. I was going to go to Michigan State, and I was going to be a finance guy, and I was going to do accounting, and, you know, and now I get to do some form of accounting, right, but it's just not other people's stuff. So, you know, everything falls into line, and, you know, things work out the way they should be, and there's, you know, God's got a plan for everybody, and that's just kind of how it goes, you know. So,
well, Westin, I want to thank you for joining us, for being our special guest. It's special for both of us because we obviously care greatly for you, and we still are a part and come and enjoy Beachies. So thank you for that. John, thank you for teaching, and I know this is recording for you. And thank you all for tuning in and watching the content on Connect. check out the YouTube channel for more career stories from around the great state of Michigan. Have a great day.